here with college counselor Alison Kuykendall. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
So we're doing an interview here. It's kind of frequently asked questions for you, the parents, around college, and to give you information to help you and your family make informed decisions as your student progresses through Gregory High School. So thank you for interviewing with me. First question I have is, how can parents get information about college?
Okay, so one of the best way to get information about college is to go to the Gregory webpage, look under the Students tab, and then College and Career, and you will see a plethora of information there. One of the most important, I think, is the school messenger information, because I give updated college information by class there. So seniors will get scholarship information, workshop information on college applications, etc. And there's information there for college applications, for financial aid, you name it. So start there. And then the next thing is to go to all of my parent nights. So I have a parent night that's designed for incoming students, where I tell you the basic things that freshmen and sophomores should be doing. And then I have a junior parent night where we focus on, of course, what the juniors should be doing, and then a senior parent night where we talk about all the things that happen in senior year for students who are applying to college. We also have the College Board website. It's a good place to go just to be aware of testing requirements for the different majors and things like that. And that's about it.
So really it's better to get involved early as freshmen and not wait till senior year.
Yes, definitely start as freshmen. I tell my freshmen to take the most rigorous course load that they can and still do well. So maybe it's not pre-AP everything. Maybe you're good at the humanities, so you're going to do more the English and the social science at the pre-AP level, or maybe you favor math and science. If so, do the pre-AP physics and the pre-AP math. If you're one of those rare students who's good across the board and you can handle the full load of pre-AP everything, then do that. So start there with your academics, number one. And number two, make sure that you try everything out. Get involved in all the clubs or even things in your community that you enjoy. It doesn't have to be something school-based. And figure out what you're good at. And I ask parents to encourage students to find that thing that they're good at and help your child to become a leader in that area. So if they love soccer and that's what they do, encourage them to volunteer to coach a little kids soccer team. Help them to learn how to deal with the kids, run them through exercises, deal with parents and coaches, things like that. It doesn't have to be an on-campus leadership role, but of course, if they're into things on campus, that's great too.
So help tie in
Yeah.
with their interests.
Yeah, so what did I talk about? Grades and classes, their interests, and then also prepare your students for the standardized testing that four-year colleges require. So we have a PSAT on campus every October, and it's a bargain price. It's only $18 versus, a $70-some test for the real SAT. And it's kind of an off-the-record test. Students can practice it in their freshman, sophomore, and junior year. In junior year, if you score well enough, you can actually earn some scholarships from that. So I definitely want my juniors to take it. And then it gives you an idea of how your child will score. And then you can link those scores to Khan Academy to get free test prep. So Khan Academy works with the College Board, who actually writes the SAT, and they make sure that they prepare the students to improve their scores, and they have research that backs it up. So I tell my students, take the PSAT, look at your results, study up, and then you'll be ready for the real SAT at the end of your junior year.
Great. That's a lot of great information. What can I do to support my child in meeting college entrance requirements?
I kind of already went over that. I know I gave you a question and then answered it in the last one. But again, just encourage them to do well in school, encourage them to get involved, and encourage them to prepare for their tests. And one more thing that parents can do in that regard is to take your students to campuses. Wherever you're traveling, if you're visiting family, go to the local college there and see if it's a good fit for your child. Sometimes kids get the idea that a certain school is where they belong because they've heard it's really good. But then when they step on campus, they don't like the feel of it or the culture of the campus, or it's too big or too small. So really get your students out there to try them out and see if it's a good fit.
Because if they're going to spend 4 more years at that spot, you want to invest that time, make a good decision. So
Exactly, yeah.
can my child miss school to visit a college?
Yes, so in junior and senior year, you can miss, or a student can miss, up to 3 days to go visit colleges. You just have to inform your SLC attendance office a week in advance. So give them 7 days notice, let them know where you're going, and then you will have an excused absence to visit a college.
Great. Do you help my child fill out his or her application for college and financial aid?
Okay, yes. So I don't have the luxury of giving one-on-one workshops with kids, but I do group workshops. So I advertise those to the students. We have a workshop for Common Application, for CSU applications, for UC applications, and then, of course, for the FAFSA and the California Dream Act.
Great. Do you help my child with college writing?
Sort of. That is a huge job. So students really have to figure out where they're applying and what kind of writing the college is asking for. So for the UC, it's very clear. I send a link to the students. I say, these are the questions. And then we have a writing workshop in the library. Mrs. Fredericks and I run that together. And we help the students to answer the questions in the way that will benefit them most and not waste any words on things that are unimportant. So we give them that kind of guidance, kind of glance over things, make sure that the students are on the right path. We don't do a lot of editing, though. That editing should come from a peer, or hopefully they're at a level of their writing where they can produce something pretty solid. For the Common Application, I send those essays out to students as well, but every private school has additional writing requirements. Some will just excuse them, some will recommend them, and some will require them. So the student has to go and look at the school that they're applying to. If they're applying to Stanford, there's a special question that says Stanford wants you to answer. Why Stanford? What's perfect about our school for you? So that requires some research. So students have to be very selective about how many schools they're applying to when they apply to private schools, because they have already a general essay that goes to all the schools, and then for each school there's more writing. So some students end up writing 20 essays, and that's a lot. Or they'll start applying to 20 schools and then kind of cut them in half towards the end when everything's due. So they need to be really thoughtful about where they're going, where they want to go, why, and then get all the writing done on time.
And prioritizing those, if you're going to cut it in half, you want to cut the half that you don't want as much as the other one, right?
Exactly, yeah. Figure out what's a good fit. That's another thing. Very few students have 20 schools that really fit them. They really need to find schools that are safety schools that are a fit, as well as reach and right on target schools as well.
Another question, where do I get scholarship information?
Okay, so FastWeb is a great website for that, as well as Going Merry. You can go to that website and enter in a bunch of qualifying information about yourself, and then you will be sent scholarship opportunities that are specific for you, things that it looks like you could apply for. Also, if you sign up for School Messenger, I send out scholarships as they come in. Anything that comes across my desk for our local students, I send out. Obviously, not every scholarship applies to every student, so don't get frustrated. Eventually, there will be a scholarship that applies to you, so check it out. Also, when I do my newsletters, I send out scholarship information there. And there's also an MCS scholarship website where all the scholarships in the district are listed, as well as the Stanislaus Community Foundation scholarships.
So you've been doing this a while, so I'm going to kind of throw a question your way. In research, maybe students might choose a school for geography purposes, or their friends go there. Really, you want to emphasize them choosing a college what's best for them in their direction for their life, right?
Yeah, definitely. I've had students who will apply to schools because of simply the location, or their friends are going there, or their parents demand that it be a certain kind of campus. And sometimes the students will get in and then realize they didn't really even have the major that they wanted, So you have to be very, very careful. Students need to really spend some time thinking about what they really want, and their education should be about or their decision about where to go should be about what fits them best, and not what everybody else is doing or what impresses the neighbors.
So one more question, in the time where we're spending lots of money on, financial aid and Then if that doesn't meet, then maybe we're taking out student loans and getting into debt. Is there something wrong from your perspective you see with future? If, I don't necessarily as a student know exactly what I want to do out of high school. Is it okay to go to JC for a year or two, kind of take some general ed, kind of figure out what I want to do, and then transfer to a school where, at that point I really know what I want to do. I know the school that's going to offer that for me, and then make that decision at that time?
Yes. So statistics show 50% of students who go off to college straight to a four-year come home within the first year. So we know that going straight to a four-year is not the best decision for everyone. Students who are unsure of their major or need to save money, maybe they're a middle-class student who doesn't get any financial aid or doesn't have a lot of money saved up, maybe they need to pay for it themselves. So JC is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to get those first 2 years of general education completed. I try to explain to my students that the freshman and sophomore year at any school, you can go to UC Davis, UCLA, for most majors, that freshman and sophomore year is going to be basic general education that you would get at any four-year school or two-year school. So if you go to JC for your freshman and sophomore year, you've already cut that college bill in half and given yourself some time to explore. And a great benefit that we have in this area is that Modesto Junior College is offering the first 2 years of your college education for free. And it does not matter if your parents are gazillionaires or if they're low income, you will not have to pay for those first 60 units of classes. There are some caveats to that. You do have to put the money up for the first semester, so you pay for the first semester. You have to complete a minimum of 30 units in that year, so that's 15 the first semester, 15 the second semester, get a 2.0 or better, and continue on. So if you can take a full load, your freshman and sophomore year of transferable courses, they don't even all have to be transferable, but transferable courses with good grades, you don't have to pay anything, and then you can transfer wherever you want to go.
So if you don't know out of high school, going JC route, they still have a successful path and maybe even a better financial decision at that point if they're really not knowing at that point. So
yeah, no, for a lot of students, it's a great, great opportunity, and it actually students who apply to UCs out of a JC have a higher acceptance rate than students who apply from high school to a UC. So if UC is your goal, definitely start at a JC if you're not ready for that 4-year or you don't know what you want to do yet.
And to kind of give some hope to students maybe out of high school couldn't qualify for UC, you could still do that through the JC path.
Yeah, so that's something else. So we have some students who in senior year, I see this all the time, who tell me, oh, I could have done better. I don't know what I was thinking when I was a freshman. And it's very, very common to have students who don't have it all together their freshman year, who are still worried about things that are not academic, and then mature in their senior year and realize that they could do a lot better and have the will and the ability to do so. So for those kids, yeah, it's a great thing for them. Yeah, they can figure it out and go and be a serious student in college.
Well, thank you for interviewing. Parents, I hope this video was informative for you. And if you have any questions, what the best way for them to contact?
Email's the best way. So my last name, kuykendall.a@monet.k12.ca.us. It's on the website, so just click on it. It's easier.
Well, thank you.